Now, US Vice President Kamala Harris says she considers LGBTQ as a human rights issue. And so she feels strongly about the importance of supporting the freedom and equality of these people. As bad as Akufo-Addo is, as bad as his leadership is, Akufo-Addo couldn't tell face to face, couldn't point it out blank to the US Vice President that Ghanaians do not condone with such activities.
Let me be clear about where we stand. First of all, for the American press who are here, you know that a great deal of work in my career has been to address human rights issues, equality issues across the board, including as it relates to the LGBT community. And I feel very strongly about the importance of supporting the freedom and supporting and fighting for equality among all people, and that all people be treated equally. I will also say that this is an issue that we consider, and I consider, to be a human rights issue, and that will not change.
First of all, we don't have any such legislation here in Ghana. A bill has been proposed to the Parliament of Ghana, which has all kinds of ramifications, which is now being considered by the Parliament. It hasn't been passed, so the statement that there is legislation in Ghana to that effect is not accurate. No legislation. The bill is going through the Parliament. It's going through the Parliament. The Attorney General has found it necessary to speak to the committee about it regarding the constitutionality or otherwise of several of its provisions, and the Parliament is dealing with it. At the end of the process, I will come in. But in the meantime, the Parliament is dealing with it. And I have no doubt that the Parliament of Ghana will show, as it has done in the past, first of all, its sensitivity to human rights issues, as well as to the feelings of our population, and will come out with a responsible response to the proposed bill.
Instead, Akufo-Addo says anti-LGBTQI bill is not an official legislation from the government. President Akufo-Addo, in fact, this is absolute nonsense. So as a leader, as bad as you are, you couldn't even protect the interest of your people. You couldn't even protect the interest of the people. The interest of the people is that majority of Ghanaians are against this LGBTQI+. In fact, we do not even want to hear of that. So you should have pointed it out blank to the US Vice President that Ghanaians do not condone with such. Instead, you are telling us that the bill is in Parliament, and when it gets to time for you to get in, you get in and ensure that the needful is done. Bro, now, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin is saying that Akufo-Addo cannot influence the bill, or cannot influence how the bill or what goes in for the bill to be passed. So Kamala's comment on anti-LGBTQI+ bill is undemocratic. Alban Bagbin fires.
As the Vice President just did, yesterday. I mean, these things should not be tolerated. That is undemocratic. What is democracy? That somebody else will have to dictate to me as to what is good and what is bad? Unheard of. Because we have decided to devalue ourselves and go a-begging. Come on. We have more than enough. God has created more than enough for every person. It's just because you are looking at somebody else's share, not yours. We have enough in the world. The bill will be passed.
Meanwhile, Uganda has passed a law to criminalize any LGBTQI+ activities. So the moment you are seen as an LGBTQI activist, or you are a person who is into that group, you'll be jailed for at least 10 years, or you face consequences far higher than that. This is from the Ugandan government. Now, I think the White House has responded to all this, and the Ugandan president has also backfired the Biden-Harris administration.
The outsiders cannot dictate to us. This is our country, this is our society, this is our future, It is not anybody's future, and the outsiders will have to live with us, or if they don't want, they take their aid, and we shall. Uganda is very rich. We don't need aid. In fact, aid is part of the problem.
So the Uganda president say, we don't need your aid. We are a very rich country. In fact, aid is part of the problem, and that is the truth. Aid is part of Africa's problem, because they are always giving us aid. They always want to dictate for us. So they don't need their aid for them to come dictate for them. This is a very brave decision by the president of Uganda. Africa do not need this. Africa do not need this. Africa do not need this. All right, so also Bagbin is telling the Parliament of Ghana, is telling the Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs to submit their report on the anti-LGBTQI bill, and also urging them not to be intimidated by anyone. This is coming from the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Bagbin. Now, the interest of Ghanaians is that majority of us do not condone, do not like, do not agree to the LGBTQI activities right here in Ghana. Subscribe to our channel, put us on post notifications. You like our videos, you comment and you share.